Hi everyone, my name is Felicia and welcome to my channel. Here you will expect to get professional and personal advice as it relates to finances, family, peace, and love. So let's go on this journey together. In today's video, I will be sharing with you my personal experience as it relates to building my credit here in the United States as an immigrant. I migrated to the US in 2019 and I personally built my credit score through research and personal experience and applying what I've learned and what I've researched. And I've got you. I'm going to go ahead and share these gems with you right now. So very much for sticking around up to this point. Please hit the subscribe button if you want to have more videos like this delivered to your inbox. Now, the first bank that I want to review with you as it relates to building your credit, whether you are just graduating high school, whichever point in life you are, if you're just building your credit or you're rebuilding your credit or you've just migrated to the United States from a different country and you're new in the country, I've always been told America runs on credit. So the very first thing I did when I got here, I started doing my research and I started applying what I've learned. And I'm going to share some of those with you right now. So the very first thing that I did was to open an account with Capital One. This was encouraged by my mom because she's lived here for some time. And this was encouraged by her. I opened a checking and a savings account. They do have a checking and savings that do not have any minimum requirement as relates to having an account with them. So you can definitely go ahead and explore those tools. However, I want to really focus on credits. So we're going to come over here to credit cards. When you go to CapitalOne.com, you come to credit cards, and where I want you to focus on, especially if you're building or rebuilding credit, is right here, credit building. So as you can see, this credit level is for fair to rebuilding. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and click on that. All right, and they'll give you information as relates to it. So here they're saying have a fair credit score, explore cards that could help you build credit with responsible use, right? So whether it's saying here whether you'd like to improve your credit, need to rebuild, or you're just starting out, you can find a card here that can help you meet your goals. And you can see if you're pre-approved for Capital One credit card offers by clicking here. All right, now down here is showing you some options that you can review from. These are reviews that others have left on here. Obviously they own the card. Okay, now this is the Platinum MasterCard. This is for people with fair credit, Quicksilver One rewards, fair credit, Quicksilver secured, people with fair credit, and this is for people who are rebuilding credit. Now this is a secured credit card, right? And what a secured credit card is, there's a you put money on it, so it's a refundable deposit. You put either $99, $49, $200 as initial credit. That's your money. So you're going to put that money on the card as your initial credit line. And with responsible use, you can earn your deposit back and upgrade your credit card. Okay. So basically, you have a $200 limit on this card. You want to keep this within a certain range as relates to how much you spend. And I'm going to get into details about that in a moment. Okay. So this is something you can, I did not start with this one. I started off with the Platinum MasterCard. So if you want, you can apply for this one. But if you want to be safe, you can go ahead and do the secured one. Also, if you apply for this one and you're not approved, then you can go ahead with the secure one. There's also a Quicksilver secured card as well. All right, and on this one, you get cash back. So you can definitely review that option as well. Now, another thing you want to take into consideration whenever you're opening any type of credit is the annual percentage rate, otherwise called APR. As you can see, this is $29.99, basically 30%. This is very high, and you're just building credit. If you already have credit and you're applying for these, your APR may be lower. But this is something to keep into consideration, okay? Now, as you can see, the annual fee, all right, $0 for this one. This one is a $39 annual fee, $0. All my cards have a $0 annual fee. I do not like paying any extra money I don't have to. I don't have the need for a card that has an annual fee right now, so I do not take it, okay? And here, if you scroll down here, you can apply now or see if you're pre-approved. I always check to see if I'm pre-approved first because it's not gonna be like a hard pull, if that makes sense. If you apply and then you're denied, that's gonna be a very hard pull on your credit report, and that's gonna sink your credit a bit. Not to worry about it though, it will eventually go up. But you can do the see if you're pre-approved first. Okay. All right. Now here you can click here and compare all credit cards. One of the reasons I'm recommending this bank, it has been so good to me. My first auto loan here in the US, Capital One gave that to me, which I'm very thankful for. And they gave me at a very good rate as well. It's very friendly, beginner friendly as it relates to managing the card. It's very informational because once you create a Capital One account, they'll tell you how to go about and manage your credit. Went ahead and logged into my personal Capital One account because I want to show you a tool called CreditWise that has been so good to me over the years to help build my credit. Now, I should let you know my checking and savings account, those were opened by advice from my mom. And I also opened my credit account in 2014 when I came on the work and travel, a student work and travel program. So for students, if you're watching this and you're here on the work and travel program, go ahead and try and get yourself a credit card. Do not close that credit card, but do not use it when you're back home in Jamaica or wherever you came from. I'm from Jamaica, so I'm going to use Jamaica as reference. I closed mine because someone at the bank gave my mom incorrect information saying if she no longer wants a credit card, she should close it, as in cancel the card. Do not do that. It will negatively impact on your credit score and it will stay on your credit file for a few years. I believe it's 5 or 6 years. I'll put like an update if I'm wrong, but that stayed on my credit for a long time as a closed account and it negatively impacted my credit. However, the good thing about it is that when I came here in 2014 and got that credit card, the age of my credit in America started building at that time. I came here to live permanently in 2019, right? So when I got that card, it was still building because I still had established credit. I had a social security and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Now, let's go here where you see CreditWise. You can review your TransUnion credit report. All right, and you can see if there are any errors, identity theft alert, or fraud. Okay, so I'm gonna click on it. I want to show you this. This is what affects your credit. On-time payments, your oldest credit line, the amount of credit you're using, the amount of new inquiries on your account, the amount of new accounts you have, and your available credit. And I'm going to talk about those in detail right now. The first thing I'm going to talk about is on-time payments, okay? Right? This is extremely important and it makes up most of what counts towards your credit score and your credit report. It takes up 35%. It accounts for 35% of your overall score. Now, how you've paid your bills in the past will be of importance, whether you've paid them on time or late, or if you've missed payments. It is a very important category of credit data for the FICO score or the Vantage point score, whichever means by which the brewers are using to track and report your credit. Now, the more severe, frequent, and recent the late payment information is, the greater the impact on your score. So one advice I want to give, if you do have a bill that is past due, you want to go ahead and call that lender or whoever you have the bill with and ask if they can waive that or not send it over to the credit bureau, not to report it. Let them know that you're going through a hard time and you're going to come up with the money. Just try and negotiate. I'm not saying it's a guarantee that they'll go ahead and approve it, but it's best to try because this is something that's going to be a hard hit on your credit report as relates to missing a payment or paying late. Okay, you want to ensure you're paying your bills and your credit on time. As it relates to boosting your credit score, what I've done is, so for example, I used my credit card. I ensure I have the cash most of the time. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. Most of the time, I ensure I have money in my checking account to pay off that credit card bill. And the reason for using my credit card is to build my credit, of course. Now, I'm going to give you a quick tip, okay? Go ahead and pay your credit card way before the due date. Paid, if you can pay it 15 to like 19, 20 days before the statement closing date or due date, pay it because that's going to greatly impact on your credit score. All right. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is your credit line age, the age of your oldest account. Now, the credit bureaus, they take into account how long your credit accounts have been established, including the age of your oldest account, the age of your newest account, and the age of all your accounts. All right. So as I mentioned, if you're here on a work on travel program, if you're a student from overseas and in some points in the future you may come here and live in the U.S., you may have a family member that's going to file for you or whatnot. Go ahead and see if you can get a credit card and manage it responsibly. If you know that you're someone who's not going to be able to pay it and you're going to be tempted to use it, just don't do it. It's not worth it. But if you know that you'll have the discipline, you can go ahead and get it and start building. As you can see right here, it says that I've had this for 9 years and I've only been living here for since 2019. And that is because I opened my credit card when I came on the work and travel program. And even though it's 9 years, it's still not that great. It's not in the excellent range, right? There is like a range for that. It's like below average, average, good, excellent. I believe I'm going to talk about that. Let me know if you want me to go in details as it relates to that in the comment section below. Okay. And as it relates to the length of your credit history, that makes up 15% of your credit score. So keep that in mind, write that down, 15%. On-time payment makes up 35%. Length of your credit lines makes up 15%. Now, the amount of credit you're using is extremely important. This is the amount of debt you have, and this makes up 30%. 30% of your credit score. Now, the amount of credit you're using is an important category of your data being reported on your credit, right? They consider the total balance owed, how many accounts you have balances on, and how much of your available credit you are using. All right. So this is a sign, as it says here, lenders look for signs of responsible credit usage, and the less you use, the better it is for your score. Now, I'm not always this low. I try to keep it below 30%. That's very good. If you can go below 15, that is even better. This should be updated soon because I did pay off over 90% of my credit balance. So this should be reduced pretty soon on my next update, right? However, I know it's difficult, especially if you don't have a large line of credit. It can be difficult to keep it below 30%. But again, if you don't have to use your credit card, do not, because keeping it below 30% will really, really, really help you. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about that impacts your credit, these two will be 10% of your credit score. So when considering your amount of new credit, the credit bureaus take into account how many new accounts you've recently opened and whether you've been rate shopping or doing checking to see if you're pre-qualified for something. They're going to take that into consideration. That's called recent inquiries. All right. Now, they say there may be some exceptions. Lenders tend to see too many recent inquiries, they tend to see it as a sign of risk, or like you're strapped for cash or something. So the fewer of these you have, the better. This recently got like this because I was messing around with a card. Experian at times recommend cards for you. Don't fall trapped to it. It was a pre-qualification. I know it's gonna fall off because it wasn't like a full-on hard pull, but this is still too high. My 5 right here, and they look for it in the past 2 years, and there are tiers for that as well. Let me know in the comment if you want for me to go in detail about that. So 10% new accounts would be those accounts that you actually opened. Okay, so they're going to look at that as well. Okay. Now, opening several new credit accounts in a short period of time indicates greater risk, as mentioned. So try not to do that. All right. Try not to open too many accounts. I know when you're just starting out and building credit, you want to get the credit cards going because you want to extend your line of credit. You want to grow that. However, just do it gradually. And a good way of doing that, let me put this pointer in it. Have a family member or a friend add you to their credit line. That's another way of building your credit. I did it. A family member added me to their credit line, and that boosted my credit score because the amount of available credit that I have at my disposal increased. So my usage percentage went down, and my usage percentage is this right here. It went down dramatically because of my family member that added me to their line of credit, which was very, very high. Nice. I love that. So giving God thanks for that. Now, your available credit is extremely important as well, or your credit mix. This makes up 10% of your overall credit score. Okay, so consider the different types of credit accounts being used or reported: retail accounts, installment loans or mortgages, your credit cards. Your credit mix will be more important if your credit report doesn't have a lot of other information based on your FICO score on them. Okay, so as I said here, plenty of available credit relative to amount owed indicates to lenders that you manage credit responsibly. Now, this should increase by some because I mentioned I did went ahead and paid off 90 something percent of my credit or my debt on my credit cards. So this should increase, and so should this. So these two they go hand in hand, and they will fluctuate, have your credit fluctuating as you go along. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about there. Now, what another thing I want to mention is Experian. Experian. This is another website or tool that I use to manage my credit, and they have something called Experian Boost. They have a free account and a paid one. I've never ever paid for the paid subscription. That's where you can see your Experian, not only your Experian, but also your TransUnion and your Equifax credit reports. I'm fine with that. I don't need to see them right now, so I don't pay for it. Okay, but if you want, you can. Now, you can go ahead, and if you already have an established account, you sign in. If you do not, then you'll go ahead and sign up. I'm going to go ahead and sign in because I have something on here that I want to show you. Okay, so here I am signed into my Experian account. You want to scroll to the bottom. You don't want to, if you don't want a subscription, click no, keep my current membership. All right. And then, as you can see, this is different from the score that I saw on the other page. So keep in mind that the different credit bureau will have different scores for you. Okay. It's not going to be the same across all three bureaus. Now, what I want to show you that I used, one of the things I want to show you that I used here using Experian is Experian Boost. Now, Experian Boost is where you can attach your bank account or your card, and it basically helps to boost your credit score with bills that you're already paying. For example, it could be rent, it could be utilities, it could be your phone bill, it could be any type of bill, but they're gonna vet it. Maybe not any type of bill, but they're gonna vet it to see if it qualifies. And then once you add it on here, it's going to boost your credit score. Okay. Now, as it relates to boosting the credit score, it will boost it on Experian. I'm not 100% sure if it will reflect on Experian and TransUnion, not Experian, I'm sorry. I'm not 100% sure if it will reflect on Equifax and TransUnion, but I definitely know that Experian Boost does help. Now, from time to time, your account may get disconnecting, like it says right here for my Wells Fargo. We're having trouble reconnecting this account. You can reconnect it, which I'm not going to do right now, okay? So this is another way that I used, another method that I used to boost my credit score. All right, hope this helps. Now, the final tip that I want to give to you in this specific video would be if you have a family member that's in the Army, it could even be a friend. Navy Federal Credit Union is another friendly credit union that you can use to help you, kickstart your financial journey here in the United States. They have very good and attractive loans. I shouldn't say loan, I should say interest rates. They have very good interest rate, so you can definitely experience this. You can definitely check this out. Okay. So the mortgages, when I just came here in the US before pre-COVID and everything, these rates were way lower. You may have better rates elsewhere right now, but when I was doing my research and shopping around, Navy Federal was the it. Okay. I always wanted an account, and I'm so glad that I have a family member that joined the military, so I was able to get invited to open an account. Now, these rates, they've definitely increased with inflation and everything that's going on in the world right now, but do your research, shop around. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving you my personal experience and my personal advice, some of which are also professional. However, consult your accountant, your financial advisor, even your lawyer, right? But hopefully this video helped. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like for me to research and talk about for you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, leave a comment. I'm here to grow, guys. So if there's anything, any advice you can give to me in the comment, I'm also welcoming to that. Please keep it positive, all right? And liking my video really helps with the algorithm on YouTube, letting YouTube know that, okay, people like seeing this content. So this will really help me to keep making these free content. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you become a family, not just a visitor. So hit that notification bell. Bye.